What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is a channel update. I like to do these every 4, 5, 6 months or so, just to let you know what I'm up to, and also to check in, see if you have any ideas on how I can improve the channel, things that I can do better, continue to improve the channel, and so forth. As far as the channel is concerned, my focus on the channel is to continue to upload the short videos every day. I think the shorts are important for engagement, but also, quite frankly, the shorts are easy for me to get out there. They're easy for me to publish. I've gotten a lot of feedback on the short videos, mainly to do voiceovers on some of the moves that I post about. Whenever I do voiceovers on the shorts, most of the time, people don't watch those videos as much as when I post a video where it's just the move in slow motion. And a lot of times I have to be cognizant of how I spend my time. At the end of the day, the YouTube channel, for me, it's about giving back, but it's also about trying to grow the channel so that I can continue to give back to even more people. So I do have to be cognizant on how many people are watching each video and the analytics that YouTube gives me. I can't deny that the analytics are truly important, but every now and then I will do some voiceovers, or I will focus a long form video on a specific move on a tutorial. One thing that I find super useful to engage with you and the folks who watch the channel is using the community page on a daily basis to post about jump rope, to post about whatever might be on my mind, to ask questions and to interact. So I'll continue to post on the community tab on the page. I'm shooting for every day. It can be pretty hard sometimes with the job that I have because it's hard to access the internet while I'm inside the building. But one good feature of the community page is that I can project posts. I can schedule posts on the community page to post to later. So I'm willing to make full use of that tool and leverage that tool as much as I can. For long form videos, my focus has been and continues to be to post a long form video every week or every 2 weeks. Long form videos, as you can imagine, take a lot of time, especially if they are long form videos about tutorials or videos where I'm explaining a jump rope skill in great detail. Reviews don't take as much time. Reviews as well are the videos that typically perform the best. So that is an advantage that I have on this channel, is that the long form videos that seem to perform the best are the videos that take the least amount of time, where I can be straightforward and I can talk about the main points of the jump rope rather than getting into great detail like I have to do in a tutorial where I have to get into great detail about how to do the move. And that works out well for everybody, I think. My focus is to continue to do the reviews, to focus more on the reviews. This summer I was in the middle of a pretty complicated PCS, moved from Michigan, from the Detroit area, to the Northern Virginia area, which I am currently in the Northern Virginia area. And I lost a lot of the ability to put out good quality long form reviews because of all the time I was spending with the logistics of the move, because the move was one of the more complex moves that I've had in quite some time. As far as my professional life, it's pretty good so far here in Northern Virginia. I work at the Pentagon right now. The job that I have is good. It'll take a long time for me to explain what I do. The job is quite complicated, not so much as the work is complicated, but that the job title is complicated due to the complexity of the Pentagon and the complexity of defense acquisition, which is what I work in. And basically, I'm a link for one of the program executive officers in the Army to the Pentagon. I help them get organized, and I help them. I'm a liaison for them, essentially, in the Pentagon. I'll be honest with you, moving from Detroit to Virginia and working in the Pentagon has been quite an adjustment for me. It's something that I'm still getting adjusted to after 3-4 months of being in the Pentagon and working in the Pentagon every day. If you've ever worked in the Pentagon, I think you'll know what I'm talking about. It can be a culture shock when you walk into the Pentagon for the first time, you always know when you're in the Army that you're a number, that you're a number that you can be easily replaced. But a lot of times when you're down at the lower levels of the Army, you have a lot more responsibility, and your job, say a company commander, you have a lot of importance and responsibility put on you to where you forget that you're just one of millions of people in the Army. But when you get to the Pentagon, you realize how truly replaceable and small you are. And I think that's a good thing for perspective, because it's helped me not take things so seriously, but seriously enough to where I want to do a good job, but not take things so seriously to where I get upset about them. Maybe it's me getting older and becoming more mature, but these days I get less and less rattled and amped up as I would in the past, because my job has always been important to me, and the job's been important to me, but doing my best has been important to me. So when something goes wrong, it's also professionally been a tough adjustment being back in Virginia, personally and professionally. It's not that I don't like Virginia, but I really enjoyed my 3 years in Michigan. I got into a rhythm there. I got to the point where I felt like I was part of the whole culture there, where I was part of a team there. I loved the area. I loved the Detroit area. I loved driving up to northern Michigan, especially during the summer, where it was nice and cool, and going up to the Upper Peninsula. Michigan is simply a great state. It's a hidden gem, and I think that only people who are from Michigan or people who have lived there for over a year or two can understand how great of a state it is. But that said, it's important to be where you are, and over the past few months, I've had the opportunity to do a lot of thinking and a lot of understanding, getting to know myself better. So what I've done is the stuff that I like to do in Michigan, getting out in nature, finding new parks, walking, trying new restaurants. I've tried to do that here in Virginia and in the DC area. And there's a lot to offer in this area as well. And one thing that I haven't been so good at as I've been in the Army, and I've been moving around a lot, is thinking that the place is the place and that one place is better than another place. The place is always what you make it. And I found that out too late in my Army career. I wish I had known that when I was much, much younger. I would have done a better job taking advantage of what each place had to offer, rather than thinking, oh, I'm here at this place, it's not as good as the other place. The grass is always greener where you water it, in fact. And so I'm trying to do that here and take advantage of every opportunity that I have in my personal and professional life. Also, in my personal life, I'm continuing to study the French language with the goal of taking a C2 exam by May of 2024. I still have a lot of work to do to get to the level where I'm proficient or where I would be considered fluent. But I think that with the current plan that I'm on, using italki to talk to native speakers on a daily basis and then doing studying on my own, I think that I'll be able to have a shot at passing the C2 exam in May, June of 2024. It's a lofty goal, but I think I can do it. For someone like me who hasn't had the chance to go to a French-speaking country and be totally immersed, I think that I've made some significant progress. I was talking to one of my tutors on italki the other day, and he's a certified DELF teacher. He assessed me at a B2 level after it's been about a year since I started taking French, and he said that that was very good for somebody like me who hasn't been able to be immersed in the language. So I'm pretty pleased with that, and each day I continue to study. My plan is I study 2 hours a day. It takes a lot of time, but it's worth it. The reason that I'm learning French is because I lived in Belgium for 2 years, from 99 to 01, and I had a great opportunity to learn it, and I never learned it. So I figured 20 some odd years later, I would give it a shot, and I'm at the point now where I could go to a French-speaking country and get around pretty well. I can understand pretty well. I can speak pretty well. I still make a lot of mistakes, but it's been a great, great opportunity. It's opened my eyes to a lot of different cultures and a lot of different ways of thinking. It's opened my mind to a whole different dimension that I never knew existed. When you learn the language, you also learn the culture, and there's a lot of French-speaking countries around the world, not just France, but there's a ton of French-speaking countries in Africa, Northern Africa, and Sub-Saharan Africa, and so on. You learn a lot. You learn a lot about people talking to native speakers, and it's been a great opportunity. It's tough. I can't really talk too much more about the personal life, but there's been a lot of change in my personal life that I gotta keep to myself that I'm dealing with currently. It's been tough. But one thing that I've learned over the past however many years that I've been in the Army, and since I started doing a lot of meditation and self-reflection, is that you can use the past. You can use the past as a school. You can't change the past. The past is there. It's tough sometimes because I've made a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of things that I wish that I had been able to do differently, but I can't change it, but I can learn from it and try not to make the same mistakes this time, whether that be with the channel, whether that be in the relationships that I've had in the past, or whether that be professionally, looking back at the past and using it as a school. It's a profound idea that I heard in a video that I was listening to the other day in French, actually, and using the past as a school is a great way to look at the past objectively and try not to beat myself up about it too much, and to learn to try not to repeat those same mistakes again. So that's what I got for this channel update, and I appreciate everyone who stuck with me. I started the channel in December 2018. I remember thinking of the name and continuing to move forward. I remember when I posted the first video. It's hard to imagine what my life would have been like over the past nearly 5 years without this channel. I don't know where I put so much time into, probably thousands of hours into this channel, that I don't know where I would have spent those hours. I don't know where I would have spent those hours if I hadn't spent them on the channel. It's been a great usage of time. I've learned a lot of skills. I've gotten to talk to a lot of cool people. And once again, thanks a lot for tuning in and continuing to subscribe and continuing to follow the channel, whether you subscribed yesterday or you subscribed from the beginning. You've been following me all this time. I appreciate it. If you have any ideas for future videos or content, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, jump rope for freedom. Peace, take care.